So there I was yesterday, sanding the front bumper of the lovely little Daihatsu with what I stoved into a wall. And I got a phone call from Rob, and he said, Ben, you know, we were talking about a new tow car the other day because the Passat's a bit old, it's done a lot of miles and it can't pull a lot of weight because it's small. And he said, something's come up, can you get to Wrexham now? And I said, well, what is it? And, well, he sent me pictures of this thing. Now, I love that Passat, but when I saw pictures of this, I was intrigued immediately. I was like, this is beautiful. I love the colour, I love the look of it, I love everything about it. What's the story? And he says, well, it's a friend of a friend's mum. She's part Xing it, and the garage have offered her next to nothing for it, so she doesn't really want to give it to them. And would I want to buy it off her for £3,000? Yes, I would. I would like to do that. So jumped in the Passat, straight down to Wrexham. All the way I was saying to it, look, I'm sorry, you know, relationships come to an end. It's time for me to move on. It's time for me to retire you. You know, you can live in the house now. I'll get you a room set up upstairs, you know. And then we got there, I saw it, and it's a bit of a minter. Transferred her the money, did the logbook, and off I went in it. Let me show you around it. I doubt there's going to be much for us to see under here, but we might as well have a look anyway. How's everybody coping with this heat? The heat that I've just got from opening this bonnet, is, well, it's pretty intense. I hope you're all doing okay. Yeah, so there we go. Plastic. But doesn't it all look very clean? That's all good, that's good. I don't really know what I'm looking at here. It's a TDV6 2.7. Yeah, great, whatever. Should we see if it starts? Will it go? God, sounds all right, doesn't it? So this thing's got 187 horsepower and it'll do 112 mile an hour flat out, is what they tell me on Google. I might give it a try later, you know, on a private road, of course. Not the A51. It's a GS model, and that stands for gas steering wheel. It's plastic, it's like solid plastic. There's no buttons on it or anything. So this is the poverty spec. This is the scum class Discovery, but that's all I can afford, man. What it does have though is auto lights, auto wipers, banging tunes. It's got a really good stereo, which is pretty cool. Ice cold air conditioning, which is a one up on the Passat massively. No cruise control though, bit sad. It's got a lot of this thing down here as well, which we'll have a little bit of a play with later on. I think we'll see what all that does, because I'm not 100% sure yet. I think it's for one setting for going to Asda, another setting for going up Snowdon. Condition of it though, I mean, look at it, really nice. You know, it's got cloth seats again. You don't need leather. It's too hot for leather anyway. All this in the back here, loads of room in it. Dead nice. Really good nick as well, isn't it? Really smart. It's had these, a little bit of rust there. It's had these side steps put on, so there's obviously a bit of trim missing there. So might see if I can swap these yellow things out for some black ones or something. As if I'm ever going to have time to do that, you know. It says it's the Sport as well. Now, I'm 99% sure someone stuck those badges on. I don't think this is a Sport, but I might be wrong. If you're a Discovery owner and you know that they're legit or not, let me know in the comments. One of the reasons I got this, apart from needing a much more capable tow car so I can go all over the UK finding great barn finds and other cars and towing stuff to circuits all over Europe, you know, which would be great, wouldn't it? But the farthest we've been so far is Cadwell Park. But anyway, split tailgate. How good. Now this is a 7-seater as well, right? So you can put a chair up one side, and then this is why Top Gear use these. Put one seat up, you can strap the person in the back, and you can use this as a filming rig. So you can leave this open, drive along and get some shots out the back. So cool. It's just, you know, it's reinvestment in the channel, isn't it? I'm not just splurging out buying a nice disco, even though it is a nice disco. And yeah, this bit, oh, tidy, and I think holds a fair bit of weight as well. Crush the microphone. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Now I know I had the pickup truck to tow heavier stuff, but the problem with that is if I had to go to Surrey or something, it would cost me probably, I don't know, 200 quid, 300 quid in fuel. And I just can't afford that, and it might break down. Whereas this, it feels a little bit more reliable. Quite like it, it's nice. I've only driven it sort of maybe 50 or 60 miles in it so far, so we'll take it for a little spin. But so far it feels really good. Absolutely tons of space inside as well. Everything folds down, does stuff. Look, these are these seats here that you can pull up. I don't know what this is. Some sort of pop-up tent or something. I don't know, but it was there. Nice rubber mat as well, when I'm chucking in old gearboxes and stuff. Great. Real nice bit of kit. This being the gas steering wheel model, I might have to get Ben's trim to see if he can work something with this, or maybe buy a leather one and swap these middle bits over and put the leather one on the car, because it would brighten it up a touch. This looks very commercial, you know, which I think the GS is a similar spec to. So if you buy a Discovery commercial, I think this is pretty much what you're getting. It's got a 6-speed manual gearbox. I was hoping for an automatic, but whatever. It's got a 6-speed automatic, 6-speed manual gearbox. It's kind of good for towing and stuff, you know. At least I get to control my descents and things, sort of coming down, you know, big steep hills and stuff. So that's kind of cool for that. And I'm going to be doing a lot of towing in this. The stereo, though, I mean, the tunes are banging. It's loud, it's good, it's clear. The speakers are really, really good as standard in this. However, FM, AM, CD and aux, I've looked everywhere on this car, in the background there, everywhere. There is no aux socket. So I looked in the manual and it said it was behind the where the 2 air vents are on the back. It's not there, it's been blanked off, there's just nothing there. So it says aux, and the stereo goes on to aux, so it's picking something up somewhere, but there's no cable. That will kill me, not being able to listen to my tunes off my phone on Bluetooth. Now I had in the Passat this sort of quite Gucci little Bluetooth connector, which God, it's a bit loud, wasn't it? Which worked brilliantly, but you have to be able to connect it into your aux socket. Now I can't find one, so let's have a look and see what's behind the stereo. Now look at these new sunglasses I bought from a petrol station as well. Pretty cool, aren't they? The circular ones match my head. Right, okay, so just pop that there. Now I can see the back of the stereo already, that's good. And it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe Torx bits holding the stereo itself in. So I'll go and get the tools. Okay, let's take my new car apart. Lots of little cubby holes, which is great, isn't it? Big fan of storage. Nice big cup holders. I've got 2 massive cup holders, bottle holders in the doors, and then a couple of smaller ones there as well, but very, very good, very nicely designed. As I'm quite a lardy bastard as well, this is like a real breath of fresh air for me. It's so big in here, loads of headroom, everything's dead ergonomical, you can still get to everything, but really, really nicely laid out. Lots of leg room, lots of everything room, lots of knee room, you know. Okay, we'll take these top ones out as well then, shall we? really banging out the videos at the moment as well. I hope you guys are enjoying what you're seeing. I'm filming this on Thursday last week, which I think will make sense when you watch the video. And we've got the Tower of Power coming out tomorrow, which I'm really excited for you to see. And I am working on the Spitfire. Got a lot of parts arrived, that's being filmed. That might take a little while to come out because there's a lot of work involved in that. But I'm really excited for you to see it. And then we need to get stuck back into that Panhard, don't we really? And also, now that I've got this thing, there is a Left 4 Dead that I've had my eye on for a while, and I'm tempted to go and get it now. And it's something really special. Something that a lot of people have asked for. It's a fast Ford. But you'll just have to wait for that. Right then, what have we got here? Okay. Oh, you're joking. So there's no augs in. No auxiliary input at all. That is really bad. This is a proper poverty spec, isn't it? Let me get the camera in and I'll show you. So as you can see on the back of this thing, there is nothing. It's just a blank back, which is sad. I'd imagine this little plate there, that's where your auxiliary inputs would go, but there ain't none. Frustrating. Right, let me give it a quick Google and we'll see if there's anything else we can do. I've just had a look on Google and it's quite a common thing, this. There was one video I found on YouTube of a guy cutting some wires from here and splicing in an aux socket. However, he had 3 wires coming from this plug, which I don't. Now, there is pins in here, there's loads of pins in there, so it has potential that, you know, it could sort of I could put pins into that and you know, all that sort of stuff. Annoyingly, I don't have any of the actual pins that I can connect to wire it to, otherwise it'd be quite easy. I could just push the wires into here and just sort of see if we get anything, but I don't have a cable, so yeah, a bit more thinking. Now this is, I think, all your speakers and stuff, and there's power and things over there, so I don't really want to mess about with any of that. The other option is you can buy a single DIN fascia panel for this, and the whole stereo can just go and you can put in a nice little Sony unit or something like that. I am kind of getting, you know, towards that, but I'm looking at spending potentially, you know, 150, 200 quid on that whole setup, where I would have just liked to have wired in a little cable. Annoying. It's a good job I'm doing this during like a heat wave, isn't it? Because otherwise it'd be really tough, wouldn't it? Right, I've got my wire strippers and I've got this little pick thing here, and what I'm planning on doing is just sort of poking these wires into the hole, because I've not got the right connections for it, so I'll have to order some, but I just want to see if this works. And then I'm going to butcher this old microphone here, which has got a 3 thing on it, and I'm hoping that that is going to work. And I've discovered this video on YouTube, which I've stolen this freeze frame from, a guy called Fix It Sam, and if this works, Fix It Sam, I owe you 1,000,000 pints. So I'm going to zoom in on that screenshot now, try and put these things into that pin, and then we'll try and play something and see if it works. This is what I've got from this cable, only 2 wires and they're too thin to strip. It's becoming a bit of a ball ache, this, isn't it? Might need to go to Halfords, you know, and just sort of see what they've got, go from there. Okay, fine, we're on the road, we're going to Halfords. It's not Halfords, sorry, Halfords we're going to. I've got to see what they've got. Do you know what I mean? I've got to find what they're offering in terms of wires and, you know, anything to help us with this. There's a Land Rover place on the yard as well. I've just been to see him to see if he'd broken one of these and he had an upgraded stereo that I could buy or something, but no luck. And he did say that, yeah, they're a nightmare, these things. Some of them came with aux cables and some of them didn't, and it's just a faff, you know. I'm not massively convinced about trying to push wires into there and all that sort of stuff. It just feels a little bit annoying to me, not exactly what I wanted. So I'm erring on the side of just putting a nice Sony head unit in it or something, you know. So we're going to see what they've got. We're going to have a little look and just see if they've got some better wires or just anything like that, really. Anything that's going to sort of help me get some Bluetooth out of this thing. And I've been thinking while I was just driving then that I need some telephone Bluetooth so I can speak to people when I'm driving. I'm never going to get that out of this unless I get someone to come and fit one and all that sort of stuff. So I'm considering it might just be a better option to get a single DIN fascia for there and get a Sony in it or something like that. You know, I really like Sonys. I've got them in all my other cars. And I can then have a little microphone up there so I can have good Bluetooth for when I'm speaking, and it'll connect to my phone automatically, which my little device doesn't do. So I'm kind of edging towards that now. It's an extra couple of £100, but I got the car for £3,000, which I still can't believe. So I don't know, might be the way forward. But we'll go to Halfords and we'll have a little look around and we'll see what they've got, see if they've got any other solutions first, you know. But I have been all over the internet and can't find anything. So one of the things immediately that I'm really starting to love about this big rig that I've got myself is how nice and quiet and just, okay, you're in the wrong lane, fair enough. Okay, it's alright, don't worry, we're all friends here. Is how quiet it is inside and just how like smooth and nice. The gearbox is lush. I mean, it's just got such a short throw, you know. The torque curve, you know, you've got power from sort of 1100 RPM all the way up to 4. It's not, you know, only a little bit. It's just great. It's really nice, but really smooth, very comfortable. No sort of big knocks or bangs or rattles or anything. That Passat was a nightmare. At almost 200,000 miles, everything rattled, everything knocked. Whereas this feels great. It's got full service history, this too. Can you believe that? I've nicked it, haven't I? £3,000. How do I sleep at night? Right, we're just getting into Halfords now. I'll go for a look round and see what I've got.
All I want in this whole life, a little red house in a country wife, a picnic table out on the lawn, a couple of kids and a couple of dogs. Work all day to 5:30, chain link fence and a gravel drive. The wind chime ringing on my front porch, a brand new carpet on every floor, and a rope swing tied around a limb of a tall oak tree. It don't sound like much, but it sure is heaven to me. A big bathtub in my bathroom, microwave, dishwasher too. The folks say hi when they pass on the street. A clean pair of socks every day of the week. A big soft chair for when I'm old. Tackle box and a fishing pole. I don't care about the fortune or fame. I just don't wanna know my mailman's name. At Christmas time, I'm gonna leave him a gingerbread cookie. It don't sound like much, but it sure is heaven to me. Every now and then we go on a vacation, big radio and a country station, hot dog grill in the noonday sun, drink a little beer, boy, have a little fun. Some folks worry about getting ahead, but
Halfords, completely useless. Not ideal at all. They said, well, they had all the fascias in the world and all the wiring harnesses in the world, apart from the Land Rover Discovery. And I said to them, could you get one in for me for tomorrow? And they said, oh, we could, but it's not going to be tomorrow. And I was like, that's weird because it's 2023. Surely you can get next day delivery. And they were like, well, we can get you one, and it's going to be a week on Saturday, which is 9 days. 9 days it would take them to get a harness and a fascia thing for this. The UK like car scene is shocking. Yeah? If we were in the States now, we could probably find all of this gear like 20 miles down the road. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, nicht cool, man, nicht cool. Should do better, Halfords. So I'll be getting a fascia, a wiring harness and the stereo, all from eBay, from some independent retailer on eBay. And I'll probably get it in the next sort of couple of days, and then we'll get that fitted. Bit annoying I can't do it now, but it's fine, whatever. I'll just throw all this back together and then do it in a couple of days. I'll show you what it looks like. One thing I just remembered as well as I was driving this, a couple of great things about this car compared to the Passat. They're both the same age. You don't have to have your foot on the clutch to start it, which was a massive ball ache with the Passat. And the handbrake, the auto hold is so much better on this than the Passat. The auto hold on the Passat was just like it never wanted to let go. It was like, no, no, I know you want to go, but no, we're staying here. I was all the time. I was like, come on, just release the bloody handbrake. And this does it like that. Really good. God, these suspension settings as well, this makes it so comfortable. Really comfy car. Pleased with my Disco. As if by magic, some more days have happened, and check this out. Look at that! Stereo! All wired in, took me like 3 minutes to do. Amazing. Really, really good. So I've got my tunes, got my Bluetooths, I've even stuck a little microphone down there, and I just tried it as I was driving down here then, and it all seems to be working perfectly. Transmission faults. Does that a lot. Now, I've had this car now for about 3 or 4 more days since I first started recording this video, and that stereo only took like 4 days to arrive, which is, well, 3 days to arrive. It arrived on Monday, ordered it Friday. God, he was going fast, wasn't he? Much better than Halford's 9 days. Anyway, so I've owned it a few more days, and the thing is great. I still love it. Everything's okay, but they do have a little bit of a rep for sort of like electronic faults, Land Rovers. Just Jaguar Land Rover products in their entirety have reliability issues when it comes to their electrics. I know, because I've had a few. I've even had a brand new Jag E-Pace, which I got on a lease deal a couple of years ago, and that was one of the worst financial decisions I ever made. Anyway, that was fraught with problems straight out the box. I picked it up, had 6 miles on the clock, and it had all sorts of electrical woes. Went back to the dealership 4 times before I eventually got rid of it. And this thing is very similar. So we've had so far, the main one is parking brake problem and some god-awful noise coming from that back right corner, like it's trying to do something and it can't do it. And the brake pad warning light has come on, which is not a fault. That's probably, it needs brake pads, but it might be something to do with this parking handbrake thing not working. I don't know. So I've got a bit of work to do, annoyingly, on the car. I'm going to have a look at that in due course and sort of see what's going on. It also needs a service, so I'm going to do that at the same time. Service brakes, that sort of stuff. So That's all okay, but the other electric faults, which are faults and not just annoying electric things, the transmission fault, just when I change gear a bit dodgily, you know, so if I go from like 4th to 6th, sometimes it's like that. It sort of doesn't particularly enjoy that very much, and you know, a few other little things like that. Really, it's a little bit has a little bit of a fit, and then the parking brake sometimes, well, it's happened twice now, doesn't work at all, and then I've got to sort of get out, lock the car, and sort of stand there for 5-10 seconds thinking, am I going to have to get into this little cubby hole there and do it manually, which is in the book, which you can do, and then I get back in and start it and it seems okay again. So, you know, not too bad, and a few other just sort of odds and ends, but overall I'm still happy with it, you know. It seems to be going okay. All this stuff works, which is pretty cool. I'm getting 29.5 to the gallon. Is that all right? Is that good? I'm not sure. I don't know. Used to the Passat that does sort of 55 to the 60. Passat's now sold. That didn't take long, did it? Sold it straight away. And yeah, I'm in this for good. Road tax. My first direct debit for the road tax is 120 quid. 12 direct debits of 60 quid each, or 11 of 60 quid each, and one of like 120, or I don't know, however it works. What I'm saying is, it's 675 quid for the year. It's bloody expensive. But, you know, I've already towed 2 or 3 big rigs with it, you know, big heavy things, and it's been perfect. You know, it's all about the towing for me, and this is, you know, you've got to pay the price, haven't you, you know? So, yeah, fine. Everything's good. Do you like it? It's nothing special, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's just an old disco, but I think it's kind of cool. Looks all right, doesn't it? Well, I mean, fucking hell, why did I do it this angle? So to summarise then, I think, you know, it's a fairly good choice so far. So good. Nothing really bad has happened. Everything seems to be working okay. Stuff that I can live with. And, you know, I'll sort of get it serviced. There's things I'd like to do, like a leather steering wheel. Wouldn't that be nice? And maybe cruise control, we'll have a look at retrofitting or something, you know. But I thought I'd introduce you to it, you know. And it's you know, going to appear a lot on the channel, so I don't want you to be like, fucking hell, has he won the pools or something, you know. I want you to be like, look, oh, there's this ratty old Land Rover again. I quite like it. Let me know if you like it, and if you've liked the video and all that sort of stuff, do the things down below. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.